What's going on, you guys? This is the Thrift Store Rundown, bringing Hollywood home on a budget. This book comes to us with bittersweet meaning, given the fact that we lost this guy here on the bottom left corner to suicide. It's a case that was as troubling as the beginning of the Food Network itself, which this year will celebrate its 25th anniversary on the year. From scratch, inside the Food Network details the big personalities and the high drama behind the extraordinary behind-the-scenes story. The author is Salkin. I got this for $7.99 and for 25% off. Retail price is $27.95 US, $29.50 in Canada. The business, media, and cultural juggernaut that changed the way the world thinks about food is given a candid exploration in this book. In October 1993, a tiny startup called the Television Food Network debuted to little notice. 20 years later, it is in nearly 100 homes in the United States and countless more overseas, approaches $1 billion a year in revenue, and features a galaxy of stars whose faces and names are as familiar to us as our own families. But what we don't know about them and the people behind them could fill a book. And here it did. This is truly a revelatory book inside the Food Network, and Salkin, a journalist for publications like New York, The Village Voice, and Details, and the New York Times, did a really superb job with this, especially getting all the interviews. And believe me, they are super candid. Around here on the Thrift Store Rundown, I am a fan of the Food Network. I grew up with it. Here we have Bobby Flay, we have the Neelys, we have Guy Fieri, we have Giada De Laurentiis, and of course, the queen of the Food Network, at least around here on Thrift Store Rundown, Rachel Ray. Hey, she has her own playlist, guys. So yeah, generally speaking, it was a part of my childhood. Everyday Italian, Tyler's Ultimate, 30-Minute Meals, Paula's Home Cooking, Barefoot Contessa, and many, many others, including Good Eats. One of the major opponents of Food Network originally was the guy who we're going to be paying tribute to in just a few moments. Here on the right, Anthony Bourdain. If I had to be him for 5 hours, I'd hang myself in a shower stall. That was just a lighthearted, good-natured roast of Bourdain in New York. Well, we won't be needing to roast him ever again. And I'll explain why, right now. Alright, so you probably heard by now, a week ago, Anthony Bourdain committed suicide in France at the age of 61 years old. This comes 3 days after the suicide of renowned fashion designer Kate Spade. This guy at the prime of his life decided that he was not worth anything anymore, and decided to put himself out of his own misery in France. Which, if you think about it, if you have to put yourself out of your own misery in France, dare I say it, that's a rather poetic way to go. I myself have dealt with some demons of my own in regards to suicide. I'm not going to completely regale my own story. I did so in another video, I'll link it below. But I will say this, because I left that detail out in the original video, that my attempted suicide happened on a Monday night in the spring, late spring, early summer. The Bachelorette was on, and a new episode of Pretty Little Liars was set to come on the following night. How poetic my predicament was. This guy loved travel, he loved adventure, and he damn sure loved food. So, it was a real shock to the system for the foodie community and pop culture to receive the news that he decided to commit suicide. I got the call from my friend Zoe, and Zoe of all people to call me, telling me that a celeb has died. Usually that would be David's position to do so, but no, it was early one Friday morning when I got the call from Zoe that Anthony Bourdain committed suicide. She did not say so at first, she just gave me a hint about, I hope you're ready for the bad news about Anthony Bourdain. I originally thought to myself that, oh no, he's been accused of sexual harassment or assault and he's now going to be implicated in the Me Too movement. But she said no, far worse. I never imagined it would be this worse, so it's a real shock to the system and a real tragic shame that he's no longer with us. I know firsthand suicide is not the answer. There's a link below for the suicide prevention website, and a number for the suicide prevention lifeline is here on the screen if you need anybody to talk to, and I'm pretty sure you can also be anonymous. 1-800-273-TALK. How do you honor one of the most influential foodies in the world? Well, here's my suggestion. Go out tonight. Explore the world. Do some traveling. And afterwards, enjoy a nice meal at a fancy restaurant or cook at home. By doing those things, I think you'll honor the legacy of one of the most original foodies we've ever had the pleasure of knowing. So Anthony Bourdain, rest easy, brother. You are now exploring parts unknown with no reservations at all. Up in heaven. That book, 4 out of 5. And one final note. Gotta give the author some kudos. He mentions the readers of this book in his acknowledgement section. You know, I'm a stickler for authors acknowledging their audience. So, bonus points. Alright, thanks for watching. That's the Thrift Store Rundown. Bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Once again, if you are in fear of committing suicide, please reach out, because you are worth something in this world. And we will be better for having you in it if you can give something of yourself productive that will help benefit all of us. Please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. Numbers on the screen now. Anthony Bourdain, rest well, brother. No more reservations. You are now exploring the parts unknown up in heaven.